Oh, Mr. Dodo, I see. You're celebrating me, but I am celebrating you because you are, my Bishop of, yes, Ijebu West, Bishop Ogubawo. You came all the way for this. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So I'm seeing the best of the best, because as I always say, Nigeria is a blessed nation. As far as I'm concerned, I think we have the best brains. Wherever we go to the top. Dr. Fatono, thank you for coming. The only problem is that we are not allowed to thrive. I don't know what it is in the society that does not allow us to thrive. We go out, we are the best. We come back, I don't know what it is. But I'm believing that somehow, Professor Shibaju, I'm going to be breaking my speech up, if you don't mind. And not only were you the reviewer of the first edition, you actually gave the book its name. I don't know if you remember that. Because I had this manuscript and I didn't know what name to call it. Then he was the head of the Justice Research Institute. I think you had left, the government at that time, and you were the one that gave its name. I celebrate you because you were the one that revolutionized the administration of justice in Lagos State. You amended the rules that other states they have copied. And you've always been a respected voice, an honorable voice. And I honor you today. Everybody here, you're honorable, and I honor you. And I thank you. As I was saying, in this nation, we have not attained our status. The Lord will help us. We cannot continue with mediocrity. We cannot. We cannot. We have the best. What is the problem with letting the best people shine? There has to be a change. The nation is crumbling under politics, is crumbling under religion. It's crumbling under tribal politics. And the majority of the people in this country are not pleased with it. We don't like it. If we are not ready to move together as one, maybe we should break up. If we don't want to break up, then we must merge together. Forget where you are from. It's always offensive to me when I hear, this is the position of the North. This is the position of the Southwest. This is the position of the East. What is the position of Nigeria? Who is thinking of this country? So there has to be a change. Please, we're not interested in where whoever is from. What we want is that this country must attain the status that has been given to it by God. Do we not find it a miracle that in spite of everything that is happening, this country has not disintegrated? A nation went to war over increase in the price of bread. But everything has increased in this country, and we are still moving. So I believe that this is a nation, honestly, that has been set aside by God for something. And I pray that this will be allowed to happen, and I pray it will happen before my very eyes. Now, having said that, I will agree that the judiciary is almost comatose. We're here speaking the truth. My father would say, that at this age, in Yoruba, he would say, Mo le shenu miku. That means at this age, you cannot, Yoruba people, Ogbeni Oja. What does it mean? That means I can't withdraw my mouth. I have been I'm privileged to be over 70. None of my mother's uterine siblings went beyond 70. Justice Adefrasin, the eldest of her uterine siblings, same mother, same father, he didn't go. He died at 69. My mother died at 67. The middle brother, Uncle Roland, he died at, I think it was 62. I'm above that age. So I believe that this is a time really where people like us, I consider myself an elder. I'm not old, but I'm an elder. So I consider this is the time that elders should talk, because what else am I looking for? I'm not looking to anybody for money. The Lord has blessed me, So please, there has to be a change. Judiciary, this is the most important arm of government. An arm that can kill and make alive, an arm that can decide who is the president, and that you, governor, get off that seat. That is the most powerful arm. It's the most powerful. So God will have to help us, because what is happening, it can no longer be tolerated. The people have lost interest in the courts. People come to me. They say, look, we have a problem. How do I do? And I want to go to court. And I always tell them, if this is where you are going to get your food, forget it. Continue your business. You can have your case. It will be determined when it will be determined. But that is not even a good commentary coming from somebody who was a judicial officer. The backlogs are too many. We are repelling investors. Nobody is going to invest in a country where the judicial system is not working, where disputes take forever to be resolved. Nobody is coming there. There was a survey of the top 10 African countries, and sadly my nation wasn't there. And if you look at why those other nations, some of them are neighboring countries, why they were selected. Some, it's integrity. Some, it will be speed of adjudication. Some, it is independence of the judiciary. Some, it is the adherence to human rights. That is what elevated these countries, And if we're to tackle the judicial system, we will see that these are areas that we are weak in. But I do not blame the majority of the judges, because honestly, the judges are working. You have a lot of judges with integrity that are working, and they are working very well. But the system does not help them. A system where, and the vice president mentioned it, every case goes to court, and it goes right up to the apex court. It cannot work. Nigeria is a very litigious nation. The elections, oh my goodness, the elections, the electoral system, it is so flawed. When I was in Owerri, about 2-3 years ago, dealing with primaries, absolutely no internal democracy from the parties, the hierarchy of the headship of the parties, no internal democracy. Somebody will win, you will substitute another person. Of course, they are going to go to court. In one of the parties had the same day the letter came out, primary elections. Another one said, direct primaries. The same day, another letter came, indirect primaries. So the candidates that came through direct primaries took the ones that came through indirect primaries to court. Or needless litigation. And they are killing the judges, writing, judgments that they should not write. So, this is a message also to the politicians. You have to help this country. You have to help this country. And then the judges themselves, the Lord will help us. Honestly, He will help you. He will not allow us to be tools in their hands, because it is very attractive. Any judge that wants to be multi-billionaire, you can do it easily. You don't even have to ask for it. They are chasing you, But if we're going to help this country, we have to. We have to stand beyond if I go against the system, I may not get to the apex court, or I can be, posted to some strange place. We have to go beyond that. We have to go beyond that. And we have to come out in our boldness now. We have to come out in our boldness. We have to be bold. We have to be ready to confront the system. We have to be ready to confront the system. The sages we talk about of old, they are ordinary men like me and you. They're ordinary men. But these ones just decided that we are going to defend the people. They came against Decree 2, they came against Decree 4. And we are talking about totalitarian regimes of those days, that is Buhari and Babangida. But they went ahead and they decided, okay, if you say that you don't want us to intervene in those areas of the Constitution that you have suspended, whatever acts you do, you must have followed the law. And of course, soldiers, because I'm a soldier's child, they don't believe in, they believe in orders. That way, they were able to liberate. You saw judgments from bold people. So I'm calling for boldness, and I'm also calling for the NJC, who is doing a noble job. I must not but celebrate them because of the headship. There is a difference. They're going against corruption. They're going against all kinds of misconduct. But at the same time, we must be careful that we do not weaken judges that want to go out of the mold and come out in defense of the people and stand against the system. We have to be able to protect those ones, because if you don't have your way in a case, what happens in Nigeria now is they will write petitions. It's like they have even forgotten the appellate process. It is easier to write a petition. And when you write a petition, there's nobody in this room that does not have a skeleton in their cupboard. Everybody has a skeleton. By the time you start digging into a person's past, there's something you will find, And if one is not careful, a bold judge can be finished just because that judge has gone against the norm, against the society, and the person is a person of truth. So that is my plea to the NJC. Now, another plea is going to be for the everybody, the National Assembly, the presidency. We must pass those bills concerning the judiciary that I believe are before the National Assembly right now. Because I was part of the Summit of Justice. That's why I'm happy that Mr. Mekiawe is here, because he was the president of the Bar Association at the time. And there was a summit that was held, I think it was convened by the Attorney General's office, by the Nigerian Bar Association, and then UNODC and some other organizations that trashed, I think it was, about a 2 or 3 day program. Before that, there had been series of workshops, private workshops that were held. And everything was gone through. The whole structure of the judiciary, how to liberate it, how to limit appeals that go to the apex court, how to administer the courts effectively. All that was dealt with, the administration. And these are bills that should have been passed yesterday. I cannot understand why they do not recognize the importance of the judiciary to the welfare and the vibrancy of the economy of this nation. If you don't deal with these bills and you leave the judiciary as it is, believe me, the judiciary will collapse. And when the judiciary collapses, the nation itself collapses. So it is something that has to be done right now. So please, pay attention to those bills, liberate the judiciary, clear the backlogs. The backlogs, God knows how many cases there are, and it is from High Court, Court of Appeal, Supreme Court, the backlogs. It will not go away like that. I was in Malaysia, this must have been about 5 years ago. I went with the High Court contingents, there was a retreat, and they invited me. And we went to the courts in Malaysia that had a terrible backlog problem. And the Chief Justice told us how he was able to do it. He said he had to come down from his seat, to the lower courts, and then they now sort out, okay, how many are the cases that are this up to this year? Okay, how many are the pending cases? Now, they now set up this force that, okay, maybe the older justices, you deal with the cases that have been filed. Okay, the new justices, you deal with the cases that have been 5 years and over. And they said that way they were able to deal with the backlog. And then they are also heavy on technology. I don't know why we're still writing longhand. I don't know why. I don't know why this country is writing longhand. Smaller countries, they have recording machines. When I was in practice, because I had recording machines that I wanted to use and I needed, I could finish a case in 1 year. But if I'm writing longhand, you can't. There's no how. The cross-examination of, okay, now they have adoption of deposition. Cross-examination itself can take about a month if you're writing longhand. And you're very, aggressive to the people. Do you think I'm a stenographer? You're talking too fast. You're talking too fast. And because of that, there are just so many cases in the courts. So technology, we must, please, we must. The backlog, we have to deal with it. Otherwise, it's not going anywhere. We have arbitration centers, even in the Supreme Court. We have in the Court of Appeal. I believe that if you ask a flurry of litigants who have even got to the Supreme Court, would you like your case to go to arbitration? Some of them would say yes. Because I took this up. I don't know whether my Lord Justice Agui agrees with me. Because I took this matter up with one of the former CGNs and also a justice of the Supreme Court. And he said that, look, anytime somebody files an appeal to the Supreme Court, what they want is judgments, not arbitration. But I'm saying that Nigeria has a peculiar problem, and we have to deal with that problem. No matter how it takes, we must deal with that problem. Having said that, I now want to plead with our judges that please, let us elevate merit and justice over technicality. Please, please. When people come to justice, when they come to the courts, there are some people that come to court for coming to court's sake. But basically, when people come to court, it's because they are saying, please vindicate me. Don't throw them away. The lawyers of old, the judges of old, and I refer to Justice Ogundare in the case of, I think it's Udua, Talabi versus Udua, where he said that technicality is a blot in the face of justice, that we must never allow it to make an ass of it. A lot of sages, judicial sages, have said the same thing. They have also said that, look, where there is a wrong, there must be a remedy. Justice Agui, you said that too. And you said it in the case of Nepa versus Awal. You said you must look for, if a man is entitled to relief, you must look and grant him that relief. That is where we have to go back to in this nation. I don't want to take your time, But what I plead with this nation for is that there has to be a change. The country is not moving. There's so much bitterness, there's so much rancor, there's so much division on every front, and we cannot move ahead. Truth has to come back. Righteousness has to come back to this nation, and justice must prevail. Thank you all so much for listening.